Atlanta News First Plus starts now with the First Alert Weather Day.
Happy Tuesday, everyone. I'm First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi. Yes, today is a First Alert weather day, and I'm sure you could guess the reason because we've been in a pretty stormy pattern. But believe it or not, when we were looking at the rainfall totals for the month of June, we actually ended up below average for the month of June, which essentially just means that we didn't get a lot of rain at the airport, but we sure did get a lot of rain overall. It felt like every other day, if not every day, for a couple weeks we were talking about widely scattered storms. That's just summertime, though, in the south. Today, no different. We do have at least a little bit of a tweak to the forecast to make. It's not going to be just a summer-like setup today. We're going to have a weak front that's going to be pushing through, and that's going to help kind of usher in a more widespread chance for showers and storms. Notice how the timing says today. I know that's not very specific, but we've already seen a few showers this morning. We could see some this afternoon and evening that could impact your evening commute tonight. The most widespread coverage of showers and storms will be around and after sunset tonight, though, so hopefully by the time a lot of you are home, and that is when I think our flooding threat is going to be the greatest. Today will be around and after sunset, so if you have any evening plans tonight, if the kids have any kind of late sports games or you're heading to dinner tonight, just know that when those storms start to roll in, they are going to carry very heavy rain, and the ground is already very saturated. We saw the flooding issue over the weekend. I think we could see more flooding today. I don't think we'll see it to that caliber today because unlike the weekend storms, they're not just going to sit stationary. These are actually going to move, but I do think we'll have very heavy rainfall rates, which could lead to some isolated flash flooding. Also, we'll see the potential for maybe an isolated severe storm as well. The severe risk does look low today, but not none. And any storms that do spark severe would carry damaging wind upwards of 60 miles per hour, heavy rain, frequent lightning, maybe some small hail as well. The hail threat pretty low for us as well. Let's take you hour by hour through the day. So again, we've seen a few showers this morning already. Partly to mostly cloudy skies will continue through the day. Here's a look at 4 o'clock. So for the evening commute tonight, the afternoon and evening commute, it is possible that some heavy downpours develop. And when you're looking at this, don't think only south of I-20 we're going to see heavy downpours. Sometimes the placement can be off a little bit, so just keep in mind that you will want to have that First Alert weather app handy as you're getting ready to head home from work today. Be really good to check in with that and just see where the rain is so you know kind of what to expect on your ride home tonight. But very possible that we have a few scattered storms around for the evening commute. At this point, I do think isolated severe storms are possible. This will be during the heat of the day, so we'll have plenty of fuel for that. So any of these storms that develop in the afternoon could very well become strong to severe. We're talking 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts on some of these storms later this afternoon. Going towards 6 o'clock, this front is getting closer to the state of Georgia, so that's going to allow for more showers and storms to start to develop. So around 6 p.m. tonight, again, this is when some of you are commuting home. It is possible that we have a more widespread coverage of showers and storms. Models have been trending wetter around 5, 6 o'clock over the past couple model runs, so we are starting to believe that we are going to have a quite rainy commute and dinner time hour tonight. Notice the red colors floating in within here. That indicates very heavy rain. And again, at this point, an isolated severe storm definitely possible. Going past sunset, that's when this front really starts to push in, and that's going to lead to widespread showers and storms after sunset tonight. I do think after the sun sets, our severe threat will gradually diminish, and with any storms that develop out ahead of it, that's going to kind of stabilize our atmosphere. Not saying that we can't have an isolated strong to severe storm after sunset tonight, but I do think we're more so going to focus on the severe threat in the afternoon and to the commute hour, and then we're really going to focus on the flooding threat going into the evening tonight, as we do have the potential for some areas to see multiple rounds of showers and storms with heavy rain. Going into the overnight hours, that front's going to continue to weaken as it pushes through the area. It's going to kind of lose its fuel, but that front acts as its own source of energy, so we will still have the chance for showers and storms into the late evening hours, but I do think by midnight we're done with any kind of severe potential, and then by tomorrow morning we're mostly dry, and drier air is going to start to filter in. Models are starting to trend drier by tomorrow with only about an isolated shower or storm possible for your Wednesday, and then the forecast only gets better going into the 4th of July holiday weekend. So really, really nice weather once we get beyond today. Just have to get through today. But like I mentioned, with the potential for multiple rounds of heavy rain and storms, you just need to be really careful if you have any later evening plans tonight. Could very well have some water pond in the roadways and create some trouble spots on the roads. This is obviously a city with a lot of concrete. Concrete doesn't absorb water very well, so just something to watch out for later today. Now, rainfall total wise, here's a look, and you can kind of see where some of these heavy pockets of rain could set up. And this is all within a 24-hour period, so we're looking at the potential for a widespread about a tenth of an inch to a half an inch of rain where those showers and storms develop. But you can see some of those pockets of orange developing. That's upwards of 2 inches of rain, so it is possible that we could see 1 to 2 inches of rain in some spots as multiple rounds of showers and storms are possible in some areas. And that's where we have to worry about that isolated flash flooding threat. In fact, the flash flood threat did go up from yesterday, now level 2 risk, so more of a slight risk for flash flooding today for most of the area, especially along and north of I-20. But I do think that, again, flash flooding will be possible really across North Georgia, just depending on where those storms set up. Storm risks, when it comes to the severe threat, we're looking at wind and lightning. We're not looking at a moderate threat. It's a pretty low-end threat. Now, the storms are going to be pretty electric because we will have the fuel for them, especially in the afternoon. I don't think it's going to be quite as quite the caliber of the storms we had last week. We had so much energy in those storms last week. We were talking, insane numbers. It does look at least like our energy for storms is a little less today. So the lightning and damaging wind threat, not necessarily the lowest, but not at a moderate level. It's a pretty low level for damaging wind and lightning. That severe threat, again, extremely isolated for the day today. Now, beyond today, once we get rid of the rain and the storms and the potential for flooding, we look ahead to just a gorgeous 4th of July weekend forecast. Honestly, I've been in the state of Georgia for 8 years now, and I don't remember a time when we had lower humidity on the 4th of July. It's pretty rare this time of year. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not going to feel fall-like. It's not going to be like a crisp, cool morning. But notice how we go today and tomorrow. You see that line really high in that very humid range, but then Wednesday it drops, and it stays comfortable to at least just slightly humid. Now, you have to understand we're going to have at least some sort of humidity this time of year, but we're talking dew points in the 50s to low 60s, which for this time of year when we've been in the upper 60s to low 70s dew point wise, you're going to notice that difference. It's going to feel a lot nicer. Still going to be hot, just not miserably humid, and that makes all the difference this time of year. We're not going to see low 90s feeling like well into the triple digits. It's going to be low 90s feeling more like the low to maybe mid 90s out there through the weekend. Here's a look at that 4th of July weekend forecast. So by Friday, which is the 4th of July, sunny and hot, highs in the low 90s. Our average high this time of year is in the upper 80s, so just about on par. Saturday, pretty much copy and paste the forecast, hot and dry. And then Sunday will be mostly dry. We have a 20% coverage of showers on Sunday. Essentially, there's a low that's trying to develop to our south. The National Hurricane Center is watching this. Very low-end chance of development. This time of year, when you get these cold fronts to come through, remember, again, that's what's coming through today, bringing us our first alert weather day. When they stall out over the state of Florida and kind of sit over the state, what surrounds Florida? Lots of water. What fuels tropical systems? Warm water. So sometimes this time of year, a lot of times this time of year, when you get these weak fronts to come through, you'll get these lows to develop along them, and then sometimes they can develop into tropical systems if they develop out over the water. This case, it looks like it's going to develop right off the sun coast, so near the Tampa area, and it's going to interact with land quick enough that it doesn't look like it's really going to gain any steam, but it is going to bring a lot of rain to the state of Florida. So if you had any plans to travel really to the sun coast and down towards the Space Coast, West Palm Beach, that's where I think it's going to be the rainiest. I've had a lot of people ask me about Destin and Panama City Beach up in the Panhandle. You look pretty good up in the Panhandle. The only thing you're going to need to worry about is maybe a rip current risk because the wind is going to be coming onshore. So you may need to worry about a little bit of a rip current risk or some sort of chop. So if you're going to take a boat out, it might be kind of choppy on the water. But overall, it looks like the rainy and stormy weather is going to stay more so along kind of central Florida and areas south with this low. But that low is going to kind of meander into the Atlantic. Again, going to be very disorganized. But nonetheless, it'll wrap around a few showers for us Sunday going into Monday. I will say next week does look like it's trending a little wetter again. We could have kind of more fronts try to move through the area going into next week. So enjoy the dry stretch of days. We really do deserve it, especially for a holiday weekend. Here's a look at that first alert 7-day forecast. So today, again, a first alert weather day. Spotty showers and storms will be possible between now and the early afternoon. For your evening commute around 5, 6 o'clock, expect that coverage of rain to start to go up. So you just need to take it easy on the roadways this evening. Keep in mind that storms will be possible for your evening commute. Most widespread coverage of showers and storms will be late this evening into the overnight hours and will kind of clear out after about 2 o'clock in the morning. Flooding will be possible on the roadways, so we'll be on that tomorrow morning just in case any lingering water is in the road tomorrow morning. But if you had any plans to be on the roads late tonight after sunset, you just need to be really careful driving. Isolated severe storms possible today as well. Tomorrow, mostly dry, back near 90 degrees. The humidity drops. We'll see lots of sunshine, tons of sunshine Thursday and Friday. Friday, of course, being the 4th of July, which is also when the Orioles are in town playing the Braves. If you have 4th of July plans, hosting a barbecue, you can still watch the Braves on Peachtree TV, by the way. Braves on Gray, that is our partnership with the Braves, and you can watch it on Peachtree TV if you don't want to head to the game. If you have other plans, you can still watch it. And then Saturday will be mostly dry. Sunday and Monday, small rain chances return to the forecast, and temperatures will hold in the low 90s. Honestly, just really excited, regardless of the storms today. Excited to have a beautiful 4th of July here at home. So if you have any 4th of July plans, absolutely get out and enjoy it. It'll be wonderful. All right, that's a look at your forecast for today and the week ahead. Thank you so much for joining us here on Atlanta News First Plus for your First Alert forecast. We'll catch you here next time. Make it a great day.
30 a.m. on ANF Plus. You can also text weather to the number on your screen, and we'll send a link directly to your cell phone.